Hey guys, Garrett with Tactical Repair, and we're back today with the broken off bolt that I finally got removed. I had to drill the whole thing out, so I'm going to show you how to install a helicoil if you're not familiar with them. It's the only way to repair threads that you've had to drill out to an oversize. So what you get with a helicoil, and I get mine from Napa, is you get an entire little kit. You get the tap you need, you get the install tool, and you get multiple helicoil inserts. Now 5/16 size, you've got to drill out larger than 5/16 to have room to install the helicoil. So with this kit, and it tells you here, drill size is 21/64. Now I've already drilled it out to 21/64, and as you can see, the hole is nice, straight and true. It's not offset, and that is essential that you have the hole straight and true. Otherwise you're going to have problems. Your bolt will go in sideways, you won't be able to snug it down right. So the tap size is, I'm not sure if you can see it there, it says it's 5/16. So, well, that would, okay. I don't know why it says it's 5/16 tap, because that would be just, oh well. It's got to be mislabeled. 5/16 tap would tap a 5/16 hole, and you wouldn't be able to put the 5/16 thread in it. You just put the bolt straight in. So anyway, all that notwithstanding, you take your tap, you install it in your tap wrench. This is a snap-on tap wrench. What's nice about it is you can actually use it with a ratchet too if you want, but because I don't want to break the tap off, I'm going to use just the T-handle that comes with it. It's a reduced torque application that way, but when you're worried about breaking something off like I am, because I've already had enough trouble out of this, you definitely want to be able to feel what you're doing. So I've got it installed in the tap wrench. We're going to get the first little thread started. Don't let it get sideways. It will want to move around on you when it's first starting threads. So we've got it started. Now you want to take some cutting fluid. I've got a really old can of Rapid Tap here, but you can use any decent oil. Even WD-40 is better than nothing, just to lubricate all the threads that you're cutting. You apply oil, you get a cleaner cut, and there's much less chance of breaking it off. So, and with a tap, you want to go forward a little bit and back, forward a little and back. You don't want to just try to run it all the way in at one time, or you will definitely break it off. And once you break a tap off in a hole, you're really, really screwed, because it's hardened steel. You can't drill it out. I mean, I suppose you can get a carbide bit, but even then, since the tap is harder than the surrounding material, you can't drill straight down into it. It's going to want to, the bit would want to walk off to the side into the substrate surrounding the tap. So breaking off a tap is the very, very last thing you ever want to have happen. And once you start to get some resistance, back it out some more. What you're doing backing it out is you're clearing the shavings from the end of the cutting surfaces of the tap. And you want to be careful and go slow. There's no need to try to cut threads fast. All that will do is cause you grief. Take your time. Make sure it's all straight. And it's a good idea to remove the remove the tap after you've gone down a little ways and just clear off those shavings. And it is nice when you actually have the tap wrench tight enough to hold the tap. But doing this all one-handed, I elected not to actually torque the retaining nut down. I guess I could have put it together before I started the video, but hindsight's 20/20. And if you find that your tap is walking off, it's wanting to cut sideways, and you haven't gone that far in, you can always come back and straighten it out and recut the threads. But if you've gone, halfway down or 3/4 of the way down into the hole you're cutting, chances are you're not going to be able to straighten it out. So but this is actually cutting pretty good for a change. So alright, I'll tell you what, I think you've got the idea here. I've told you about all I can about cutting threads, so I'm going to pause this for a minute, and I'm going to finish cutting these threads, and then when we come back, I'll show you the install of the helicoil itself. So hang on and I'll be right back with you. Alright guys, we're back. So I've got, if it'll focus, and it probably won't, I've got nice clean threads cut in there. There it is. And I've got the hole clean out. I blew it out with a compressed air blowgun. Now we take our helicoil insert, and this is the bottom, this is the top. The top is open. You take that and your install tool, you thread it on. Let's see if I can do this without dropping it. So I already knocked over the tray and dropped all the inserts down once, so that's ready to go. If you want, you can clean all the oil out of that hole, and you should have oil in there because you should have used cutting oil, and clean it out with a brake cleaner, blow it dry, and you can put some red Loctite on the threads on the outside of this before you thread it into the hole. If you do that, don't put a bolt in it until it's set up. Give it a few hours. If you put a bolt in it, then you'll never get it out. What the red Loctite will do is it'll hold this insert in the hole, because a lot of times you'll find when you go and take the stuff apart at a later date, the threaded insert will come out with the bolt. So using Loctite is not essential, but it is an option. On this one, I'm not going to. So here we go. So you want to be careful. Don't cross thread it. Which, if you do cross thread it, it's more than likely just going to mess up the insert, and you can grab another one and try again. If only I could not have a hard time with something at some point. Okay. So it feels like I got it started. Now, well, I need my smaller tap wrench, really. Alright, hang on a second. Let me grab my smaller tap wrench so I can get a hold of that. Alright, I've got my smaller tap wrench. And got it put on there. So now we're going to carefully spin this down into the new threads. And you can go down as far into the hole as you want with this. You can even stack them. Stacking them makes it difficult to get the second one in, because you've got to trim the little tail off. And what that does is it makes it hard to install it with the tool, because the tool just wants to thread through it. But if you don't trim that tail off, then you put the bolt in, it tries to go past that tail, it pushes the tail down into the threads below it, and it ends up screwing everything up. So that takes a little bit of finesse. But there you go. That one is installed just below flush. Oh, don't you fall down. So there we have got helicoil repaired threads. And that's all there is to it. It's pretty simple, but it does take some practice. I've been doing this for a long time, and it is really easy to mess this stuff up. So my suggestion, if you got to do this, get a piece of scrap steel and practice a couple of times. You know, it comes with plenty of inserts. So get yourself set up and increase your chances for success before you're actually working on the part you're repairing. Because if you screw this up, you've really only got one chance. So anyway, just wanted to show you what I had to do to successfully repair this thing and how to install a helicoil, because at some point you're going to need to know how to do that. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it helps you. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Feel free to share this video, and I will see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.